Yeah.
What up?
So, let me ask you a question. What if I told you that the key to healing your mind is actually already inside you? No expensive therapist needed at all. Right? What if I told you that? Because it actually is. And that's what this video is about. It's really about healing yourself without a therapist, being your own therapist, right? And right off the bat, I'll tell you some of the benefits of that is self-empowerment. That's what a big part of this channel is even about, is self-empowerment, right? We talk about self-help stuff all the time. We talk about helping ourselves. We talk about getting to know ourselves. And that's why I recommend being your own therapist before you go seek therapy from someone else or an outside source. I recommend therapy from yourself because you definitely have it. There's nothing that therapist has that you don't have. They might have a collection of education that you don't have, but even that you could get yourself. I'm not saying therapists aren't needed, but I recommend self-therapy first, seeking that first, right?
Yeah. I especially recommend seeking therapy for yourself, by yourself, for yourself first, because really, who knows you better than you?
Right.
You're gonna trust. There's nothing wrong with trusting someone else to give you information about you. But let me ask you the question: does it really logically make sense to ask someone else about you first?
It's true.
Like, without even at least asking yourself the question about yourself, you're just gonna run to someone else and ask them about you first?
Right.
Come on now. I'm just saying, does that logically make sense though?
Right, because then right off the bat, when I think of that, it's like, well, how would I be able to trust that information when they obviously don't know me better than me?
You know what I'm saying?
You know, how can that information be that helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they could have their little insights from observation, but at the end of the day, there's
No
no
one-
fucking way they could ever know you better than you know you.
Yeah, no one knows you better than you.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I think by asking yourself certain questions, the hard questions, is really how you can get down to the bottom of you.
Right.
You know? But it's like, it's nothing wrong. It's you can go ahead and go to a therapist and get questions and try to, you can heal through that. But I just personally think that the best medicine for your own self is the medicine that comes from you.
Right.
And you gotta ask the right questions. I don't think it just happens from just shit. Maybe it does. I mean, I don't want to put limits on how fucking awesome we are as human beings. I think if you ask yourself psychological questions bravely and ask yourself the hard questions, you'll get to where you need to go. You'll get the answers that you need. Mm-hmm. I think that's what intuition is. That's what our inner God is. That's what our inner voice is. That inner dialogue, that's your spirit speaking to you, I believe. See, these are beliefs. I'm not a religious dude, and I don't even want to say I'm spiritual because it's so corny now. But I do operate through spirit. That spirit is mine. When I need to, I have a question, I consult with myself. I look myself in the mirror and ask myself the real questions. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, as I give it time, I get the answers. I may not get it right away, but over time, a couple minutes, a couple hours, a couple days, I get the answer. I always do. And I've developed a relationship with myself on such a deep level that I don't feel comfortable asking anybody else about me ever. I may listen to you, but it don't mean that I'm gonna use that information and apply it the way you think I will. You know what I'm saying? Because I know me better than anybody knows me. I do.
Yeah.
I have a very deep, profound relationship with myself because I work on it every single day. And I try to be honest with myself about whatever it is I'm going through. Whatever question I have, ugly, bad, scary, embarrassing, I'm asking. And I want to know. I've been like, see, to be honest, for me, this is natural for me. I've been asking questions about me and life since I was a baby. I've always been wondering. I always wanted to know why. What is that? How does it work? And I ask the same questions about myself. That's called knowledge of self. You can never get enough knowledge of self. It's not like in school where you go see. The problem is, I think with a lot of people, they're so, what's the word? Like academic about it, I guess is the word I think we would use. Like they're so, from the book. Like the only real book that matters is the book that you wrote and where you get the source of information.
That inner library.
Right, an inner library from yourself.
Right.
So, I mean, that is, to me, one of the best ways to heal. I'm not going to say the only, because that would be crazy. But I think, in my opinion, the best way to heal yourself is to deal with yourself.
Right. So on top of that, I'd say so for right off the bat, one of the benefits obviously is to save money, right? Save money from spending money on therapy. And you know, I don't know if people talk about it a lot, but from what I know, the people who do go to therapists, they don't usually just settle with the first one. Why? Because the first one they meet wasn't quite a fit. They go to certain ones, you know. There's a whole search of trying to find the right one. And you know why that is? It's because none of them are going to know you better than you know yourself.
That's a good point.
So why just bypass all that, save some money, save some time, and bypass that and go straight to you. And like I said, on top of that, you make a better version of yourself. You get the self-empowerment part of it. You know what I mean? Because we know what better feeling do you get when you solve your own problem? When you solve your own problem? Because guess what? You are the cause, and you are also the solution.
That's true.
Right?
Yep.
So one of the other things I was going to talk about was so like how do we do it, right? How do you do that? What does that process look like as far as being your own therapist? One of the things you can do is for one, journal. I'd say that's a good thing. Journal down. I don't necessarily say every moment, but you could if you want to.
Right.
Because that's a way to capture every little thing that's going on in your life from day to day, and that way you can go back and look at it and review it, and that way that's a good way to understand how you think on a day to day.
Yeah.
What's going on in your mind? What's happening in your world on a moment to moment basis?
It's like data collection.
Right, data collection, exactly.
For yourself.
And then from there you can review it.
Yeah.
You know, therapists can't do that for you, but you can.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of the benefits.
What do you think the therapist's doing when they're writing shit
Exactly.
down? They're collecting data too.
Exactly.
You know, about you though.
Right.
You should be doing that.
You should be doing that.
So you get to know you better.
Right. So right there, self-journaling. That's one thing you can do. Another one I was thinking about was like a daily reflection. Right. Go through your day, and at the end of the day, you reflect on that. Right. Reflect on what went on, what you thought, why you did it, or you can even go back in that journal and reflect on those things.
I think that's a I guess you call it it's not a theory, but it's like an idea that's a concept that came from Stoicism. Yeah, daily reflection.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
Well, there you go. These are some of the things that you could do as far as being your own therapist. You know, that's what comes with it.
Yeah.
Another one I was gonna say was it's like self-talk.
Oh yeah.
You know,
positive
self-talk. Right.
Positive self-talk.
Yeah. There's self-talking and there's negative and positive self-talk, but I'm talking about the positive. Matter of fact, I'm using an app right now called Self-Talk Plus. It's on my phone. There's all kind of ways to do it. There's a lot of disagreements, a lot of agreements on how to do it. I'm sure you have your own, because he always does.
You said self-talk, but see, this is my trip. Okay, go ahead. My bad. Finish.
Yeah, self-talk. There's different ways to do it. Obviously, there's I would say the best way, but you still do it. But I would say obviously the best way is that if you could record your own, affirmations or whatever, you know? That's basically what self-talk is, affirmations, is what I'm saying. But there's so many different types of ways to do it. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but there's so many different ways of how to do it. And like I said, this isn't an discussion about how to do it, because I'm going to let you figure that out. But my point is the concept of self-talk is one way to add to this whole self-therapy thing.
Yeah. But speaking of it, I do want to know, let us know how you guys do it. What do you do? What are some self-therapeutic practices you have? What do you do to release tension? What do you do to release that mental energy? You know, when you're all in your head, what do you do to get out of your head?
Right.
What do you do to find inner peace? Because that's what this is about. It's about inner peace, really. That's what you're trying to achieve, through practices like meditation, quiet time, quiet contemplation. You're trying to get that inner peace. Exactly. You're trying to get that silence, that inner silence. And the reason why it's important is because through that inner silence is when the answers come. It's not through constantly talking. It's not through constant stimulation.
Constant asking either.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not through constantly asking. It's through asking the question and shutting the fuck up and letting the energy come in.
through the listening is where the answers come. Right, through the listening. You know, I think when I was younger, I used to do a lot of asking.
Yeah.
And I was frustrated because I was like, "Where's the answers?"
Right.
Because I never stopped asking.
Right.
You know, or it's the same with when it comes to this manifestation shit. You can ask all day. You can ask all day. You can imagine all day. You can journal about it all day. You can visualize all day. But until you shut the fuck up and wait and receive, you won't get it, right? There's got to be a point where there's a pause. You know what I'm saying? That's where all the answers are, anyways. In that pause moment.
That silence is necessary.
Silence.
That
Exactly.
inner silence is necessary.
Right.
It's not just something that sounds good. It's necessary to get the answer. It's a part of the process of receiving answers. You know, you ask the question, you ask it sincerely, you ask it without fear of whatever the answer is. You give yourself time to get quiet, and that's when the answers come. Now, if you're not the type to sit and be quiet, not the type to meditate, go find something to do that takes your mind off the fucking thing you were asking about.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Go do that. Go take a walk. Do something very mundane. Go get a fucking hamburger. Go do something and get your mind off of it. It can be the most simple thing. You know what I mean? Go have sex. You know what I mean? I mean off the energy. Don't think about it at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's really, in that aspect, it's kind of a fun process for me. Because I get to ask myself the question. Then I get to actually let it go. I get to relieve myself of the mental anguish that I'm going through.
Right.
And I got to go do something. I'm allowing myself, I'm giving myself permission to say, fuck it.
Right.
To enjoy life for what it is in this moment to the fullest. You know how beautiful that is? You ever tried that? Most of us never have. Do that. Give yourself permission to let it be. Give it away to you or God, whatever you want to call it, whatever. That's your thing. But like, get it off your mind. Write it down. It's something my dad used to tell me all the time. He used to tell me all the time when he could tell I was stressing about something I was trying to figure out. I would tell him, and he would tell me, write it down. Get it out of your mind and on some paper. That helps a lot too, and it's been working since then. I've been doing this since I was a kid, and I still do that. You know what I mean? I go back to that. So that's a practice that you could do, that we talked about, writing it down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, matter of fact, there you go. There's another one right there. You know, any questions you have, all those questions that are running around in your head, don't keep them in your head. Write them down.
Don't do that to yourself.
Right. So in addition to that whole journaling thing I was talking about, that's what you can do as well.
Yeah.
You know, whatever those questions you got, because I know you do. We all do. You know, even if they're just like random ones. You know, even if you don't know that they're necessarily connected, which they always are somehow. But how are you supposed to know that unless you write them down, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just in your mind all the time.
For sure.
So that's another thing for sure that you can do.
Shit. Like, look where we at.
Yeah, being at the beach.
Yeah, beautiful ass scene. Just something like that. Like, the scene itself is enough to fucking take you there, right? It's beautiful. It's peaceful. The sound of the water alone is hypnotizing for me. It puts me in a trance.
Still meditation.
It is meditation. I sit here long enough quietly, man. Them waves gonna have me in chill mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Start getting them alpha waves going. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shit, like I said, meditation's another good one. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not for everybody. The reality is, there's certain ways. There's lots of different ways to meditate. There's no one way to do meditation.
Exactly.
You know, I'll let you guys do your research on that.
Ultimately, however you do it, it's about getting in touch with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what this is about. Once again, it's about self. You know, self. Like I said, it's a lot of things you can do, but ultimately, let it lead you to yourself. We'll just say it like that. Whatever you can do, be creative. Let us know in the comments about how you do that. But ultimately, just remember, keep in mind, ultimately it's about self. Keep that at the forefront of everything that you're doing. It's about self. But yeah, I definitely think it's more beneficial to be your own therapist. Therapy can come in all kind of forms. You know, it doesn't have to be that typical, let me talk to somebody who doesn't really know me, wasting time with that, and then, you know, with whatever. And, you know, I'm not going to get in too much of a discussion about if medication for this is good or bad. And then again, because
to each his own, you know.
Right, and there's a big discussion, and we can have a big discussion on what medication, even what you consider medication, you know. So that's another topic. But if you want to skip that, you know, once again, you can go through it yourself instead of going through a doctor to do all that.
Yeah, me personally, I smoke weed. I mean, I don't rely on it, but I know that's not the answer.
Right.
But it definitely helps me get into the frame of mind in order to receive the answers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a good way to put it.
You know what I'm saying?
There's also music.
There's music, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's a very natural way for me because we grew up around music. We do music. I love music. A big part of my life is very much entrenched in music. So once I go to the music, my mind is already taken somewhere else. And it's out of my head and out and away from the problem. Yeah, bro. And away from the problem. You know? It's just that simple. It's just do something to get your mind off of the fucking thing. But yeah, man, I think it's important to even dive that deep for therapeutic uses because I'm like I said earlier, I'm a firm believer in knowledge of self. You really can't beat that, man.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean,
And self-sufficiency.
yeah, see what I mean? That's what knowledge of self leads to. Self-sufficiency.
And I also want to throw this in here because we're living in the age of AI, right? High technology. But the thing is, I'm seeing through the use of AI, a lot of us, I just see it going down the road where we're getting lazier. We're already there now, but I'm saying we're getting lazier.
We just had this discussion.
Yeah, we just
earlier.
had this conversation, which might be another video actually.
Yeah.
But the point of what I'm saying is I before we conclude this video, I want to stress the fact that another big reason why this whole being your own therapy thing is important, therapist is important, is because for self-sufficiency. We cannot rely on AI. We cannot rely on anything outside of us, and it's becoming more obvious now in this world. We can't rely on things like that because it's just going to weaken us even more.
Yeah.
Right? It's dangerous. It's downright dangerous at this point to be relying on anything outside of yourself.
I think so.
Use it, but don't abuse it. Right? Use it, but don't abuse it.
Right.
Don't get addicted to it. Don't rely on it. Don't rely on anything. And I'm speaking about AI as well. Don't rely on anything or anyone to solve all your problems.
Yeah.
Or any of your problems. Don't rely on it. I'm not saying don't use it because that's what it's here for. Because ultimately, you are the cause and you are the solution. So even those people are extensions of you. Even AI are extensions of you. So that's fine. But don't rely on them. They are just tools to help, to add to, but they aren't the whole solution. The only solution is through you. Don't forget that. I just want to put that out there before we end this video.
Yeah. So, and that goes for subjects such as like love. If you want love, you can't go outside of yourself to get that. So what that means is you got to start treating yourself better. You got to start talking to yourself better. You got to start looking at yourself in a better light. Whatever it is you want from or out of love or a loving partner, you got to give that to yourself first. This is a part of therapy. You know what I mean? This is how you get there.
True.
And it starts with love.
With love, it's true.
You know? And it's called self-love, self-respect, self-esteem,
Back to yourself.
self-assurance.
Right.
It all comes back to you. So just get in the state of mind of thinking about love, not just loving everybody else. Love you. Shower yourself with love.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you deserve it. You deserve it. So try these things. Try these things. If start working with you more. Start getting in tune with you. Because you love you more than anybody could ever love you, believe it or not. And if you don't, you need to work on yourself and get there. Because you are the main reason why you are where you are today. Believe it or not, you are. Whether good or bad, you are the fucking reason. You know what I mean? So give yourself what you need. Give yourself what you so badly want in life, what you desire. Give it to yourself. Give it to yourself because you deserve it. So with all that said, man, I hope if you guys got anything from what we talked about today, please let us know in the comments. Holler back at us.
Share it with someone who might be able to do that, who's going through therapy right now.
Yeah.
Who's looking for a therapist right now. Share it with them. Let them see what they think.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're one of those people, let me know what you think. Is it helpful for you or was it not helpful?
Right.
Leave it in the comments. Because ultimately this is about connection and conversation.
Right.
Right?
Most definitely. I mean, and we're no better than you guys. We're no better than anybody. I'm no better than him. He's no better than me. We all have different walks of life. We have different lessons that we learn, and we came here to share them.
Right.
Different perspectives, different ideals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let us know how you guys feel, though.
For sure.
I just want to say, man, thank you for being here. Thank you for even connecting with us, even thinking about us, man. Checking out what we talking about.
Right.
We're just two guys trying to be better today than we were yesterday. That's it. Because that's all we got.
And hopefully we can do this together.
Yeah. So I think it's more important than any important than any time now to be more connected with those around us. And let's be vulnerable. Let's be honest. Let's spread the love. You know what I mean? Let's not be so afraid to be who we are anymore. It's time. Just let the bullshit go, and just allow yourself to be okay. Love yourself for whatever the situation is, but don't look outward. Look inward. So, just want to say, man, I love y'all. I love myself, and I'm able to love you because I love myself. So give yourself the fucking freedom and the love that you deserve. Love yourself for yourself. Fuck with y'all.